You are not stupid, you were simply never taught how your mind actually works. Right now, as you listen to these words, something is happening inside your skull that is more powerful than any computer ever built. Trillions of neural connections are firing, learning, and adapting. But here's the problem: most of that power, you're not using it. Not because you're lazy or not smart enough, but because you were taught to use only the smallest part of your mind, the conscious part. The part that struggles, forgets, and gets tired. Let me show you something that might make you angry. You spend about 8 hours every night sleeping. That's 1/3 of your life. And during those 8 hours, your conscious mind shuts off. But your subconscious, it's wide awake. It's processing, organizing, consolidating, and learning. It's running maintenance on your body, healing damage, and strengthening memories. Your subconscious mind works harder while you sleep than your conscious mind does all day. But here's what's tragic. For most people, that subconscious work is random, unguided, and wasted. Think about it. 8 hours every single night for your entire life. If you're 30 years old, you've already spent 10 years sleeping, 10 years of subconscious processing power. And what did you do with it? Nothing intentional. You let your mind wander, process random anxieties, replay meaningless conversations, and dream about nothing important. But what if I told you that you can program your subconscious while you sleep? You can turn those 8 hours into a genius factory. You can wake up smarter, more creative, and better at problem solving, not through some mystical magic, but by understanding how your brain actually works. Your conscious mind is like a flashlight, focused, narrow, and only capable of holding a few things at once. Scientists say your conscious mind can hold about 7 pieces of information at a time. That's why you forget phone numbers or walk into a room and forget why you went there. It's why learning feels so slow, but your subconscious, it's processing millions of pieces of information simultaneously. Right now, it's monitoring your heartbeat, regulating your breathing, maintaining your balance, processing these words, filtering background sounds, and managing thousands of bodily functions you never even think about, all at once, without effort. And here is the part that changes everything. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. Let that sink in. Your subconscious cannot tell the difference between vivid imagination and real experience. This is why athletes visualize their performance and improve without physical practice. It's why trauma can be created by events that never actually happened, and why phobias exist for things you've never encountered. Your subconscious believes what it's told repeatedly, especially in certain states of consciousness and sleep. Sleep is the most powerful state for subconscious programming. So here is the question that matters. What are you programming your subconscious to believe? Let me explain how this actually works. No pseudoscience, no magical thinking, just the simple, powerful science of how your brain operates. When you fall asleep, your brain cycles through different stages: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Each stage has a vital purpose, but there's one particular state that changes everything for learning. It's called the theta state. Theta brainwaves occur right in that twilight zone before you fall asleep and just before you wake up. You're not quite awake, but not quite asleep either. In this state, your conscious mind, the part that judges, filters, and resists, is essentially offline. But your subconscious, it's wide open. This is exactly why children learn so astonishingly fast. Kids spend much more time in the theta state than adults do, and their critical filter hasn't fully developed yet. So, when someone tells a child, "You're so smart," the child doesn't analyze it, doubt it, or resist it. Their subconscious just accepts it. I am smart. And if someone tells that same child, "You're not good at math," the same thing happens. The subconscious accepts it. I am not good at math. It's direct programming with no filter. And those programs, they can run for decades, shaping our beliefs, then our behaviors, and eventually, our very identity. But here's the most powerful part. You can learn to access this theta state intentionally. You can actively reprogram those old, limiting beliefs. During sleep, your brain does something truly remarkable. It takes everything you experienced during the day, everything you learned, tried, and thought about, and it consolidates it. It moves information from your short-term memory into long-term storage. It strengthens the neural pathways for skills you practiced. It even makes new connections between ideas that seemed completely unrelated before. This is why you can go to bed stuck on a difficult problem and wake up with the solution crystal clear in your mind. It's why musicians practice a tough piece, get a good night's sleep, and wake up able to play it better. The old saying, "Sleep on it," isn't just a folktale, it's scientifically valid advice. Your subconscious is working hard while you sleep. The real question is, are you directing that work, or are you leaving it to chance? Here's a crucial concept most people don't understand. Your subconscious is always listening. Right now, as you're consciously focusing on my words, your subconscious is processing everything else. The tone of my voice, the rhythm of my speech, the emotions being triggered, the memories being activated. Your subconscious is like a sponge. It absorbs everything, and it filters nothing. This is precisely why your last thoughts before you fall asleep are so incredibly powerful. It's why what you expose yourself to matters so much. People who fall asleep listening to negative news often wake up feeling anxious. On the other hand, people who fall asleep listening to growth-focused content tend to wake up feeling motivated and inspired. You are programming yourself constantly. The only question is, are you doing it intentionally? Let me tell you about a fascinating phenomenon called hypnagogia. Hypnagogia is that transitional state between waking and sleeping. It's that moment where your thoughts become strange and dreamlike, where logic loosens its grip, and where things that seem impossible suddenly feel possible. The famous artist Salvador Dali used this state intentionally. He would sit in a chair holding a heavy key over a metal plate. As he drifted towards sleep, his hand would relax. The key would drop, and the clatter would wake him up. He would immediately start painting the bizarre and brilliant images that appeared in his mind during that state. Thomas Edison did something similar with ball bearings to capture breakthrough ideas from the edge of sleep. Why? Because in that state, your subconscious speaks directly to you. There's no filter, no logic, no "that's impossible," just pure, unbridled, creative intelligence. And here's what you need to understand. You can program your subconscious during this state, and those programs will run all night long while you sleep. For the next hour, you're going to learn exactly how to do it. Let me show you something about yourself that you've probably never noticed. Think about the last time you learned someone's name. You heard it once, maybe twice, and then you forgot it. But now, think about a song you heard when you were 15. A song you haven't heard in years. Right now, if I played just the first 3 seconds of that song, you could sing the entire thing, word for word, melody perfect. How is that possible? You weren't trying to memorize that song. You never sat down and studied the lyrics. You just heard it, while doing other things, while thinking about other things. And yet, your subconscious memorized every word, every note, permanently. Here's what this tells you. Your subconscious has unlimited storage capacity. Every experience you've ever had is stored somewhere in your brain. Every face you've ever seen, every word you've ever heard, every sensation you've ever felt. The problem isn't storage, the problem is access. Your conscious mind is like a librarian with a tiny flashlight in a library the size of a city. The books are all there, but finding them, that's the challenge. But your subconscious, it has perfect access. It knows where everything is. This is why the answer to a question often pops into your head hours after you stopped thinking about it. Your subconscious was searching, and when it found the answer, it delivered it. Now, here is where this gets really interesting. You know those moments of genius, those breakthrough ideas, those perfect solutions that seem to appear out of nowhere? Those aren't random. Those are your subconscious delivering results. But here's what most people don't realize. You can request those results. You can assign your subconscious specific tasks. Before you go to sleep, you can give your subconscious a question, a problem, or a skill to develop. And while you sleep, it will work on it. Not metaphorically, literally, your brain will simulate solutions, make new connections, and strengthen relevant neural pathways. And when you wake up, the answer will be there. Sometimes immediately, sometimes it appears later that day, seemingly out of thin air. Let me prove this to you with something you've already experienced. Have you ever bought a new car, and then suddenly you start seeing that exact same car everywhere? The car was always there on the same roads, in the same parking lots, but you never noticed it before. Then you decided to buy it. You focused on it, thought about it, imagined yourself driving it, and suddenly, it's everywhere. What changed? Not the world. Your subconscious filtering system. Your subconscious was now primed to notice that car. It became relevant, so your subconscious started showing it to you. This is called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's your brain's filtering mechanism, deciding what to show you and what to ignore. And here's the crucial part. You can program your RAS to show you opportunities, solutions, and resources that you've been missing all along. Think about what this means. Right now, there are solutions to your problems walking past you every day. Right now, there are people who could help you, and you're not even noticing them. Right now, there are ideas that could change your life, and they are completely invisible to you. Not because they don't exist, but because your subconscious hasn't been told to look for them. When you program your subconscious before sleep, you're doing something profound. You're telling your brain what truly matters, what to focus on, what to solve, and then, while you sleep, your brain goes to work, making connections, strengthening pathways, and filtering reality to show you what you programmed it to find. This isn't magic. It's not some mystical manifestation. This is neuroscience. Your brain is a tool, the most powerful tool in the known universe, and you're about to learn how to use it intentionally. So, let me tell you what genius actually is. It's not some magical gift from the heavens. It's not a rare genetic mutation that only a chosen few possess. Genius at its core is pattern recognition at high speed. Every brilliant idea you've ever heard of, every single breakthrough, is just someone connecting dots that already existed. Think about it. Einstein didn't invent energy, or mass, or the speed of light. He just saw the connection between them in a way no one else had. E equals MC. Steve Jobs didn't invent computers, or phones, or music players. He brilliantly combined them into the iPhone. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every magnificent work of art is simply a recombination of existing elements. And here's the key. Your subconscious mind is a pattern recognition machine. It's designed for this. Your subconscious is constantly, tirelessly, looking for patterns. It's how you learned to do practically everything. It's how you learned to walk, to talk, to read. You didn't consciously sit down and figure out the physics of balancing on two legs. Your subconscious detected patterns through thousands of tiny, failed attempts and made adjustments automatically. You didn't consciously decode the rules of grammar and syntax. Your subconscious recognized patterns in the sounds and meanings flying around you and built a whole language system inside your head. Everything you know how to do without thinking, driving a car, typing on a keyboard, recognizing a friend's face in a crowd, sensing their emotions, it's all your subconscious mind running patterns it has already learned and mastered. And here's the part that changes everything. Your subconscious is far better at pattern recognition than your conscious mind. And the best part, it works while you sleep. There's a famous study that perfectly illustrates this. Researchers gave participants a complex math problem. They all worked on it for a while, and, inevitably, they all got stuck. Then, they split the group in two. Half the group stayed awake, while the other half was told to go to sleep. The results were astounding. The group that slept were 3 times more likely to solve the problem when they woke up. 3 times. This wasn't because they were just more rested. It's because their subconscious minds kept working on the problem while they were asleep. During sleep, your brain runs countless simulations. It tests out different approaches, makes unusual connections, and tries out combinations your logical, conscious mind would immediately dismiss as ridiculous. And sometimes, in fact, quite often it stumbles upon the answer. But this is where most people get it completely wrong. They hit a wall with a problem. And what do? They give up. They distract themselves with TV, scroll through their phones, and fill their minds with anything and everything else. And their powerful subconscious, it's left without a clear directive, so it just wanders, processing random anxieties, replaying old memories, or worrying about tomorrow's to-do list. But what if you did this instead? Right before you go to sleep, you clearly state the problem you're facing. You focus on it intently. You visualize the outcome you desire. You're not trying to solve it right then and there. You're simply assigning the task to your subconscious. You're telling it, hey, work on this for me while I sleep. And then, you let it go. You trust the process, and your subconscious gets to work. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is a documented, reproducible phenomenon. It's how breakthroughs happen. Dmitri Mendeleev, the chemist who created the periodic table, struggled for years to figure out how to organize the elements. He tried hundreds of different arrangements, and none of them worked. Then one night, exhausted, he went to sleep with the problem weighing heavily on his mind. He dreamed the solution. He saw the entire periodic table, perfectly organized, in his dream. He woke up, frantically wrote it all down, and it was correct. Elias Howe spent years trying to invent a functional sewing machine, but he couldn't figure out the needle. Then, he had a nightmare that he was captured by warriors whose spears had holes in the tips. He woke up with a jolt of insight. The hole for the thread goes at the point of the needle, not the base. Even Paul McCartney famously heard the entire melody for the song Yesterday in a dream. He woke up, went straight to the piano and played what would become one of the most famous songs ever written. These are not accidents. This is your subconscious mind solving problems while you sleep. And the best part is, you can learn to do this intentionally. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content on how to unlock your mind's full potential. See you in the next one. So, how do you actually do this? How do you program your own subconscious mind while you sleep? First, you need to understand a core principle. Your subconscious responds to clear, repeated, and emotionally charged instructions. Let's break that down. Clear means the instruction has to be specific. Be smarter is way too vague. Help me solve this specific math problem is crystal clear. Repeated means doing it once isn't enough. Your subconscious, just like your muscles, learns and strengthens through repetition. And finally, emotionally charged. Your subconscious is like a bouncer at a club. It prioritizes information that comes with strong emotional weight. Neutral, boring information gets ignored and left outside. So, if you want to tap into this incredible power while you sleep, you need to give it instructions that are clear, repeated, and emotionally important. Okay, here is the basic protocol. Step 1. Choose your target. What exactly do you want your subconscious to work on? Is it a specific problem you need to solve? A new skill you want to develop? A creative project you're stuck on? Or maybe a big decision you need to make? You have to be specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. That's meaningless. Instead, say something like, I want to figure out how to increase my income by solving this particular client's problem. Your subconscious needs a clear, well-defined target to aim for. Step 2. Prime your mind before you go to sleep. In the 30 minutes or so before you turn out the lights, you need to immerse yourself completely in your target. If you're trying to solve a problem, review everything you know about it. Write the question down on a piece of paper. If it's a skill, review what you practiced earlier that day. Visualize yourself performing that skill perfectly, flawlessly. What you're doing here is loading all the relevant information into your active memory. You're essentially sending a memo to your subconscious that says, hey, this is what matters right now. This is what I want you to work on tonight. Step 3 is to use the theta window. This is that magical, drowsy, half awake, half asleep state right before you drift off completely. In this state, repeat your instruction. Say it clearly in your mind. Something like, show me the solution to this problem, or help me deeply understand this concept, or improve my ability to master this skill. Repeat it a few times and, most importantly, feel why it's important to you. This is the moment your conscious, critical filter goes offline. It's when your subconscious is most open and receptive. You're essentially planting a seed in the most fertile soil imaginable. Step 4. Let go and trust the process. Once you've planted that seed, your conscious work is done. Don't lie there trying to consciously solve the problem or force an answer. That's counterproductive. Your job was to set the intention and then release it. Let it go. Now, it's your subconscious's turn to take over and get to work while you rest. Trust that it's doing its thing behind the scenes. Step 5. Capture what emerges. This is crucial. The moment you wake up, before you check your phone or even get out of bed, immediately write down whatever comes to mind. Keep a notebook and pen right by your bed. Don't judge what comes up. Don't dismiss it as weird or irrelevant. Just capture it. Sometimes the answer will be incredibly clear, like a fully formed sentence. Other times, it might be symbolic, an image, a feeling, a metaphor, or just a hunch. Write it all down. Your subconscious doesn't always speak in plain English. It often communicates in the language of dreams and intuition. The more you practice capturing these morning messages, the clearer they'll become over time. Your subconscious will learn, oh, they're actually paying attention. I'll send more information their way. Let me give you a very specific, practical example. Let's say you're trying to learn a new language, maybe Spanish. You've been studying and practicing, but it feels like you've hit a wall. The progress is slow, and it's starting to get frustrating. Here's how you can use this sleep programming method to accelerate your learning. Before bed, spend about 10 minutes reviewing what you studied that day. Don't try to cram, just a gentle review of the vocabulary and grammar points. Then, as you're drifting off into that theta state, repeat this intention to yourself. My subconscious is integrating Spanish. I will wake up understanding more clearly. Then you fall asleep. All night, your subconscious gets to work. It consolidates the new vocabulary. It strengthens the neural pathways for the grammar. And it makes connections that you weren't able to see consciously. When you wake up, you might find that the words come to you a little easier. The grammar suddenly makes more sense. Something has shifted. This isn't magic. This is literally how our brains are designed to learn. You are just making the process more deliberate and intentional. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on unlocking your mind's potential. See you in the next one. Alright, so what I've just shared is the foundation. It absolutely works. But now let me show you how to make this even more powerful, how to amplify the effect, so your subconscious works faster, deeper, and more effectively for you. First up, amplification 1, visualization. You have to remember this critical point. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So, before you fall asleep, don't just think about your goal. You need to see it, feel it, live it in your mind. If you want to master a new skill, visualize yourself performing that skill perfectly. See every single detail. Feel the physical sensations in your body. Hear the sounds associated with it. The more vivid and real you make it, the more your subconscious treats it as actual practice, as a real experience, as a memory it can draw upon. Athletes have known about this power forever. Countless studies have shown that mental practice, pure visualization with zero physical movement, creates measurable improvements in performance. Think about basketball players who just visualize making free throws. They improve almost as much as players who are physically practicing on the court. Why? Because the exact same neural pathways fire in your brain during visualization as they do during the actual physical act. Your brain is literally practicing, your nervous system is learning, even if your muscles aren't moving. So, before you sleep tonight, visualize your success. Visualize complete mastery. See the outcome you desire as if it's already happened. Your subconscious will then work all night long to turn that visualization into your reality. Next, amplification 2, emotional charge. Your subconscious is wired to prioritize information that is emotionally significant. Think about it. Neutral, boring information. It's easily forgotten, but information tied to a strong emotion that gets burned into your memory. This is exactly why you can remember a deeply embarrassing moment from your childhood, but you can't remember what you did last Tuesday. Emotion creates permanence. So, when you're programming your subconscious before sleep, you must add emotion. Don't just say, I want to solve this problem. Feel the incredible excitement of solving it. Feel the wave of relief washing over you. Feel the immense pride in your accomplishment. Feel the positive impact it will have on your life. Your subconscious responds to emotion like a plant responds to sunlight. The more emotion you add, the more growth you'll see. Now for amplification 3. Repetition. Your subconscious learns through repeated exposure. Doing this for one night is helpful, yes, but doing it for 30 nights, that's transformative. This is the very reason why habits take time to form. Your subconscious needs that constant repetition to finally accept something new as a fundamental truth. So, don't expect miracles after just one night. Instead, expect gradual, compounding improvement. Every single night that you program your subconscious, you are building something powerful. Those neural pathways are getting stronger. New positive patterns are forming. Your brain is literally restructuring itself for success. In 2 weeks, you'll start to notice a shift. In 1 month, you'll see significant change. And in 3 months, you won't even recognize your old capabilities. Finally, amplification 4. Multisensory input. The more of your senses you can engage, the deeper the programming will be. If you're learning a new skill, don't just visualize it. Engage all your senses. If it's playing a musical instrument, don't just see a asterisk here, asterisk the notes perfectly. Asterisk feel, asterisk your fingers on the instrument, asterisk see, asterisk the sheet music in your mind's eye. If it's writing, asterisk feel, asterisk the sensation of your fingers on the keyboard, asterisk see, asterisk the words appearing on the screen, and asterisk hear, asterisk the rhythm and flow of the sentences. The more dimensions you can add to your mental practice, the more real it becomes to your subconscious, and the more it's treated as an actual lived experience. Remember, your brain can't tell the difference. Use that to your advantage. Before you drift off to sleep, engage every sense you can. Make it as real as possible. Your subconscious will take care of the rest. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this valuable, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content to help you unlock your full potential. I'll see you in the next one. Now, let me show you what happens when you do this consistently. Night 1. You program your subconscious with a clear goal. During sleep, your brain gets to work, processing information, making new connections, and strengthening some existing pathways. You wake up. Maybe you notice a slight shift in your mindset, or maybe you don't. But rest assured, the work has been done. Night 2, you program again, same goal, but maybe you've refined it slightly. As you sleep, your brain builds on yesterday's progress. Those pathways are already starting to form, and now they're getting stronger. You wake up and notice you're thinking about your goal differently. New angles are appearing. Things that once seemed impossible now feel within reach. Fast forward to night 7, that's 1 full week of consistent programming. Your subconscious has now spent approximately 56 hours working specifically on this goal. That's 56 hours of processing, connecting, strengthening, and creating. When you wake up, something has fundamentally shifted. Ideas come to you more easily. Solutions appear faster. The work you're doing feels more natural, more intuitive. It's not that you suddenly became a genius overnight. It's that your brain has literally been restructured to support this specific goal. The neural pathways that help you achieve it are now thicker, faster, and more efficient, while those that don't have been pruned away. Your brain has physically rewired itself around your intention. Now, imagine night 30. 1 month of programming, we're now talking about 240 hours of dedicated subconscious work. That's more than 6 full 40-hour work weeks of pure processing time. By now, the goal isn't just something you're working on, it's becoming a part of your identity. Your reticular activating system, your brain's internal filtering system, is now fine-tuned to this goal. You start seeing opportunities everywhere. Resources seem to just appear. People who can help you suddenly cross your path. This isn't the universe magically conspiring in your favor. It's your brain filtering reality to show you what's relevant to your mission. The opportunities were always there. You're just finally able to see them. Let's jump to night 90. 3 months of consistent programming. That's 720 hours of subconscious effort. At this point, You're not the same person you were when you started. That skill you were trying to develop, it's now automatic, natural, almost effortless. The complex problem you were trying to solve, it's either been solved, or you've progressed so far that the original problem seems trivial in hindsight. The knowledge you were trying to integrate, it's now intuitive. You don't have to consciously think about it. You just no asterisk it. This isn't magic. This is the incredible, compounding power of intentional subconscious programming. Here the secret about mastery that most people never realize. Mastery isn't about raw talent. It's about neural density. Experts in any field have physically different brains than beginners. The neural pathways related to their expertise are thicker, faster, and more interconnected. A chess master's brain literally looks different in the regions that handle spatial reasoning and pattern recognition. A professional musician's brain is different in the areas that manage auditory processing and fine motor control. This is a scientific principle called neuroplasticity. Your brain physically changes based on what you consistently practice. And here is the absolute key. Your brain changes fastest and most effectively during sleep. So, when you program your subconscious right before you go to bed, you are giving your brain a direct command. Build pathways here. Strengthen these connections. Make this automatic. And your brain, your faithful servant, obeys. Night after night, it's building, strengthening, and automating. Until one day, you wake up and you've become a different person, capable of things you once only dreamed of. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on unlocking your potential. Let me give you some real-world examples of this in action. There's a fascinating technique in learning called sleep consolidation. Imagine students learning new material during the day. Then, right before they go to sleep, they just briefly review it. We're talking 5 minutes. That's it. The results are astounding. The students who do this retain 30 to 50% more information than the students who don't. Same study time, same material, yet vastly different retention. Why? Because that quick review before sleep essentially tells your subconscious mind, hey, this is important. Lock this in. And during sleep, that's exactly what happens. The information moves from your short-term to your long-term memory. The neural pathways literally get stronger. 5 minutes of intentional programming before sleep equals up to a 50% boost in retention. Here's another one for you. Let's talk about motor skills, physical abilities like playing an instrument or a sport. There's a phenomenon called offline learning. You've probably experienced this. A musician practices a difficult piece. They struggle, they just can't get it right. Then, they go to sleep. They wake up the next morning, and almost like magic, they can play it better than they ever could before. There was no extra practice, but their performance has improved. So, what happened? During sleep, their brain ran simulations. It corrected errors, it optimized the movements. The physical practice creates the initial pattern, but it's sleep that perfects it. This has been documented thousands of times. This isn't just a theory, it's how we actually acquire skills. When it comes to problem solving, the results are even more dramatic. There's something called the incubation effect. You're working hard on a tough problem. You hit a wall. You just can't see the solution. So, you step away, you sleep on it, and then, all of a sudden, the answer just appears. It's clear, it's obvious, and you think, why didn't I see that before? This isn't random chance. This is your subconscious mind continuing to work on the problem long after your conscious mind has clocked out. In fact, studies show that incubation, stepping away, and especially sleeping, improves problem-solving success rates by up to 60%. 60%. Just by programming your subconscious and then letting it do its thing. Creative insight works exactly the same way. Talk to writers, artists, inventors, they all report the same phenomenon. Their best ideas don't come when they're actively working, but during periods of rest, especially right after waking up. Why is that? Because creativity is all about making unusual connections between ideas. And frankly, your conscious mind is terrible at that. Your conscious mind is logical, it's linear, it likes to follow known paths. But your subconscious is associative. It makes connections your conscious mind would never even consider. So when you go to sleep with a creative problem on your mind, your subconscious goes exploring. It tries out wild combinations, makes bizarre associations, and breaks rules your conscious mind would never dare to break. And sometimes actually, quite often it strikes gold. So here's the bottom line. Everything I'm telling you today is documented, studied, and proven. Sleep improves memory consolidation. That's a fact. Sleep enhances motor skill acquisition. Fact. Sleep boosts problem solving. Fact. Sleep increases creative insight. Fact. These are not just nice beliefs, they are measurable biological processes happening inside you. The only real question is, are you using these processes intentionally, or are you just leaving them completely to chance? Because whether you program your subconscious or not, it is working every single night. It's processing something, building something, and strengthening something. You might as well be the one to choose what that is. Thanks for watching, and if you found this valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content to help you unlock your potential. Alright, let me break down the biggest threats to this whole process for you. Because the moment you decide to consciously program your subconscious mind, something is going to push back, and it's not some external force I'm talking about. It's your own deep-seated default patterns. Think about it. You've spent years, maybe even decades, running on autopilot. Just random information coming in, random processing, and random results. Your brain has built superhighways of habit, these comfortable, default modes it loves to cruise on. And these old roads, they don't want to be torn up. Change takes energy, and your brain is all about efficiency. It wants to save power, so it will resist. Here's how that resistance usually shows up. First, there's the forgetting. You'll have the best intentions. You'll say, "Tonight, I'm doing it. I'm programming my subconscious." But then the day happens. You get busy, distracted, caught up in 100 little things. And before you know it, it's bedtime, and you've completely forgotten. This isn't just a slip of the mind. This is your old programming fighting for its life. It's whispering, "Hey, if we start this new thing, the old comfortable way dies. Let's just forget." So, you have to make it impossible to forget. Set an alarm on your phone. Stick a note on your bathroom mirror. Make it an unskippable part of your evening routine. The second form of resistance is the sabotage. You do everything right. You lie down. You visualize your goal with real emotion. You feel it. Perfect execution. Then what do? You grab your phone. You start scrolling. 30 minutes of random videos, other people's arguments, and celebrity drama. And just like that, all your hard work is overwritten. Why? Because the very last thing you feed your mind before you fall asleep is what gets the most processing time. This is self-sabotage, but it's happening unconsciously. It's your old patterns sneaking in and reasserting control. The solution is to create a sacred window of time. After you do your programming, nothing else gets in. No phone, no TV, no last-minute emails. Just the program you installed. That's what your subconscious needs to work on, undisturbed. Then comes the third, and maybe the most dangerous one, the doubt. You've been consistent for 3 nights. You've done the work. But you wake up, and you don't feel like a completely new person. You haven't won the lottery yet. So that little voice of doubt starts to creep in. This isn't working, it says. This is silly. I'm just wasting my time. And so you quit. This is where most people give up. But what you're missing is that the work is happening under the surface. It's like planting a seed. If you dig it up every morning to see if it's sprouting, you'll kill it. You have to trust the process. Not blind faith, but informed trust. You know how this works. You understand the principle. Give it time to grow. Finally, there's the relapse. You've been crushing it for 2 weeks. You're feeling the change, seeing real progress. Life feels different. Then, a crazy week hits at work. You're exhausted. You skip one night, then another, and before you know it, a week has gone by, and you're right back in your old default mode. This isn't a failure. It's what I call pattern recapture. Your old habits are always there, waiting in the wings, ready to jump back on stage the second you lower your guard. So you have to plan for this. When you miss a night, don't beat yourself up and spiral. Just get back to it the very next night. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Miss one night, that's fine, just don't miss two. Miss two, make absolutely sure you don't miss three. You keep the new pattern alive through consistency, not by being flawless. So remember these 4 horsemen of resistance: forgetting, sabotage, doubt, and relapse. Anticipate them, have a plan for them, and you will successfully defend your new programming and create the reality you truly want. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next video. Let me paint you a picture of what your life looks like just 6 months from now. Every single night, you've been programming your subconscious mind. You've set clear goals, charged them with emotion, protected your mental space from negativity, and practiced with unwavering consistency. And now, you are not the same person. I don't mean that metaphorically, I mean it literally. Your brain has physically restructured itself. The neural pathways related to your goals have become superhighways, fast, efficient, and automatic. Skills that once required intense conscious effort now happen without a second thought. Problems that used to leave you stumped now have solutions that seem obvious. Learning that used to take weeks now just takes a few days. You start noticing the change in small ways at first. You're in a conversation, someone asks you a question, and the answer just flows out of you, perfectly clear, perfectly phrased. You didn't consciously search for it, it just emerged. That's your subconscious delivering results. You're working on a project, you hit a wall, but instead of frustration, you feel a sense of curiosity. You think, I'll just sleep on this. And when you wake up, the solution is right there, clear and actionable. You don't question it anymore because you've learned to trust the process. This becomes your new normal. And it's not just you who notices. Other people see it too. They say things like, you've really changed, or you seem so much sharper these days, or how are you learning things so fast? And you just smile, because you know the secret they don't. You haven't magically gotten smarter or gained some supernatural ability. You've simply started using the powerful tool you've had all along, your subconscious mind. You've harnessed those 8 hours every night, putting them to work for you instead of letting them wander aimlessly. That one difference, it changes everything. Suddenly you start seeing opportunities everywhere, not because the world has changed, but because your brain is now finely tuned to recognize them. You walk into a room and you notice things others miss: connections, possibilities, hidden solutions. Your reticular activating system, your brain's filter, is now calibrated to your goals, so it feels like reality itself is conspiring to help you. The right people appear, the right resources show up, and the right information finds its way to you. This isn't magic, and it's not some vague concept of manifestation. This is your brain doing exactly what you programmed it to do: filter reality to show you what truly matters for your success. But here is the most profound shift of all: you stop feeling limited. Before, you were held back by beliefs about what you could or couldn't do. I'm not good at math. I'm not creative. I'm a slow learner. Those were just old programs running in your subconscious. And now, you've completely overwritten them. Your new programs are, I can learn anything. I can solve any problem. I can develop any skill. And because your subconscious now accepts these new programs as truth, they become your reality. Not because you're just telling yourself feel-good lies, but because belief directs your attention directs your effort, and your effort creates real, tangible results. You are no longer the person you were. You are the person you intentionally programmed yourself to become. So, here is what you do tonight. Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Before you sleep, you are going to program your subconscious for the first time. Choose one goal, one skill, one problem, just one. Make it specific, make it clear, make it something you can visualize. Spend 5 minutes thinking about it, visualizing it, feeling what it would be like to achieve it. Then, as you drift towards sleep, repeat your instruction. My subconscious is working on this. I will wake up with progress. That is it. That is all you do tonight. 5 minutes of focus, one clear instruction, then sleep. And while you sleep, your brain will work. You will not feel it, you will not see it, but it will happen. Tomorrow morning, You might notice a shift. You might not. Do not judge based on one night. Just do it again tomorrow night, and the next, and the next. In 2 weeks you will notice something different. In 1 month you will notice significant change. In 3 months you will not recognize your old capabilities. Here is what you need to understand. This is not optional for genius. This is how genius is created. Every person you admire for their intelligence, creativity, or skill has done some version of this. Maybe not consciously. Maybe they stumbled into it. Maybe they called it something else. But they all leveraged their subconscious. They all used sleep for learning. They all programmed themselves intentionally or accidentally. The difference is you are now going to do it consciously, deliberately, systematically. You are not leaving genius to chance. You are engineering it. And here is the truth that changes everything. You have been programming your subconscious your entire life. Every night, your subconscious processed something. The question was never, can I program my subconscious? The question was always, what am I programming it with? Random inputs, other people's content, anxieties and fears, or clear goals, specific skills, intentional growth. You have always had this power. You just did not know you were using it. Now you know, and now you choose. Tonight, when you lie down to sleep, you will do something different. You will not scroll your phone. You will not fill your mind with noise. You will choose one clear intention, one goal, one skill, one problem. You will visualize it, feel it, make it real in your mind. You will give your subconscious clear instructions, and then you will release it, trust it, let it work. And while you sleep, your brain will become a genius machine. Not someday, tonight. This is not preparation for transformation. This is the transformation beginning. Breathe deeply. You are ready. You were always ready. So here is what you do tonight. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Tonight. Before you sleep, you are going to program your subconscious for the first time. Choose one goal, one skill, one problem, just one. Make it specific. Make it clear. Make it something you can visualize. Spend 5 minutes thinking about it, visualizing it, feeling what it would be like to achieve it. Then, as you drift towards sleep, repeat your instruction. My subconscious is working on this. I will wake up with progress. That is it. That is all you do tonight. 5 minutes of focus, one clear instruction, then sleep. And while you sleep, your brain will work. You will not feel it, you will not see it, but it will happen. Tomorrow morning, you might notice a shift. You might not. Do not judge based on one night. Just do it again tomorrow night, and the next, and the next. In 2 weeks, you will notice something different. In 1 month, you will notice significant change. In 3 months, you will not recognize your old capabilities. Here is what you need to understand. This is not optional for genius. This is how genius is created. Every person you admire for their intelligence, creativity, or skill has done some version of this. Maybe not consciously, maybe they stumbled into it, maybe they called it something else. But they all leveraged their subconscious. They all used sleep for learning. They all programmed themselves intentionally or accidentally. The difference is, you are now going to do it consciously, deliberately, systematically. You are not leaving genius to chance. You are engineering it. And here is the truth that changes everything. You have been programming your subconscious your entire life. Every night, your subconscious processed something. The question was never, can I program my subconscious? The question was always, what am I programming it with? Random inputs, other people's content, anxieties and fears, or clear goals, specific skills, intentional growth. You have always had this power. You just did not know you were using it. Now you know, and now you choose. Tonight, when you lie down to sleep, you will do something different. You will not scroll your phone. You will not fill your mind with noise. You will choose one clear intention, one goal, one skill, one problem. You will visualize it, feel it, make it real in your mind. You will give your subconscious clear instructions, and then you will release it, trust it, let it work. And while you sleep, your brain will become a genius machine. Not someday, tonight. This is not preparation for transformation. This is the transformation beginning. Breathe deeply. You are ready. You are always ready. Now, just rest for a moment. Let everything you have heard settle into your mind. Your conscious mind has been listening. But more importantly, your subconscious has been absorbing every word, every concept, every possibility. It is already beginning to reorganize, already beginning to see new pathways, already beginning to believe that change is possible. You do not need to remember everything consciously. Your subconscious has recorded it all. When you need these concepts, they will emerge. When you need this knowledge, it will be there. You are not the same person who started listening to this. Something has shifted. Something has been planted. And tonight, when you sleep, it will begin to grow. Your brain is already different than it was an hour ago. Neural pathways have been activated that were dormant. Possibilities have been illuminated that were hidden. Your subconscious has accepted a new truth. You are capable of programming yourself. You are capable of accelerated growth. You are capable of genius, not as potential, as fact. Your brain does not distinguish between what it imagines vividly and what it experiences. And for the last hour, you have been vividly imagining a version of yourself that uses sleep intentionally. That version is now real to your subconscious. Tonight will be different, not because you have to force it, but because you have been primed. When you lie down tonight, your subconscious will remember this. It will remember that sleep is not just rest. It is reprogramming time. It will remember that you have a choice, random processing or intentional growth. And because you have been primed, the choice will be easy. I want you to feel something right now. Feel the possibility, not the certainty, not the proof, just the possibility. The possibility that you could wake up tomorrow slightly different. The possibility that in 1 month, you could be significantly different. The possibility that in 6 months, you could be unrecognizably more capable. Feel that possibility. Do not reject it. Do not doubt it. Just feel it. That feeling, that sense of possibility is your subconscious saying yes. It is saying, this makes sense. This is how I work. I am ready. Your conscious mind might still have doubts. That is fine, expected, normal. But your subconscious is already on board. It recognizes truth when it hears it. And everything you have heard is truth. Not metaphorical truth. Not spiritual truth. Biological truth. Your brain works this way. You can use it this way, starting tonight. So rest now. Let this settle. Let this integrate. Tonight, you will program your subconscious for the first time consciously. Not because you have to, because you are ready to. And tomorrow you will wake up and begin to see. This is real. This works. You are changing. You are becoming a genius machine. Not someday, now. Before you go, one final truth. The most powerful computer ever created is sitting inside your skull right now. It has unlimited storage, parallel processing capability, pattern recognition beyond any artificial intelligence. And for most of your life you've been using about 10% of its capability. Not because you could not access more, but because no one told you how. Now you know. Now you can never unhear this. Every night from now on, you will know, I could be programming myself right now. I could be using these 8 hours intentionally. Some nights you will, some nights you will not, but you will never be unconscious about it again. You are not the same person anymore. The moment you truly understood that your subconscious is programmable, you changed. Because understanding changes everything. You cannot go back to unconscious living. You cannot pretend you do not have this power. The only question now is, what will you build? What version of yourself will you program into existence? What genius will you unleash? The tools are yours. The process is clear. The time is now. Turn your subconscious into a genius machine, starting tonight, while you sleep.